Okay, everybody, welcome to 10 minutes on 7.2, multiplying polynomials. We got our vocab, note-taking, and extra practice. Make sure you fill in this right here. Look into page 367. Look below, fill in the little extra term. Not a lot to do there for you. Pay attention to what happens here. They're going to show you this method. I'm going to show you two other methods in the problems later that also work really well. Most people end up using this one, but some of the other ones people like, especially the box method. But this FOIL method works pretty good. Pay attention to the patterns that happen here. You can relate these numbers to these numbers. And later on, we're going to take this and work it backwards to here. That'll make it easier to do. There are patterns you can take advantage of in the next section. If you recognize a setup, you can take advantage of a pattern and make it easier to do. Now, you will also see me do one other thing slightly different in here. Instead of writing these two numbers right here, the x plus 2, a lot of times I'll write plus x plus 2. I'll write it so that I end up lining up my like terms. My like terms are right above and below each other rather than next to each other. That's a habit the way I was taught in school. You can do it either way. It's the same thing. You still need to recognize, oh, whoops, I'm looking for a different pen there. You still need to recognize that those are like terms, and then you add them together to get the 3x. Okay, some examples from the monitoring progress in your books there. Take a look at those, look at the steps. You're going to see more of it down here. You got your scrambled answers. And let's start with number 3. In exercises 1 to 6, use the distributive property to find the product. So we have asking for a specific method here. Page 366, example 1. I expect to see these steps. I'm going to use the method that they show in A. Okay? And I'm going to take this back part. I'm going to take this whole thing and distribute it times these numbers up here. So I'm going to get that first number g times g plus 4. And then I got a plus sign, 2 times g plus 4. And this is the more theoretical way to do it. The next two methods I'm going to show you take advantage of patterns. Then you've got your little distributions here. That's going to be g squared plus g, whoops, not g, but let's go 4g, because we always like to write that coefficient first. And then I'm going to do this one here. That's plus 2g plus 8. I got a couple of like terms, which you see me mark. G squared plus 6g plus 8. Look for the pattern. And you see the relationship between the numbers up here and the 6 and the 8. There's a little pattern there. See if you can catch it. Can't see it on number 5. Number 5, I'm going to do the same thing. This whole back part times that times that. So I'm going to get 3n times n plus 1. I got a minus 4 this time, so I'm going to put the minus 4 in, times n plus 1. Do my second distribution here. 3n squared plus 3n minus 4n minus 4. There's my like terms. 3n squared minus n minus 4. I forgot to check my answers. There's my answer. It checks out with that one. There's my answer right there. It checks out. So we're looking good. Now this method a lot of people really like. In exercise 7 to 12, use a table to find the product. Again, that is in your book. This is example 2 on that page 366. Just so you know, you can see some more examples there. They got videos in your book, don't forget. But this method, people who struggle with other methods, this is the one that works best. So I'm going to do this number 11 down here. And so you write these numbers in these outer boxes. So we have this little inner boxes. That's where our answer is going to show up. I don't always write these outer ones, but you can. And it's just going to be, and I always write them in decreasing order of degree. So I'm going to have the 6h on top and the minus 2. And this decreasing, increasing order of degree works really well on some other ones I'll show you back here later. Okay, and then I'm going to have up here. Now, this is where I write it. They've got it like this. I'm going to rewrite this negative 2h minus 3 because I like to, again, have it in this decreasing order of degree. Decreasing order of degree, the highest exponents first. So it would be like h squareds, then h's, then ones with no h. So that's minus 2h and minus 3. And then you just multiply here. So it's decreasing that way. 6h times minus 2h, that's negative 12h squared. Negative 2 times negative 2h. I need this a little bigger to write in. Just bigger, yeah. Negative 2 times negative 2h. Negative times negative is positive. That's going to be 4h. 6h times negative 3. That's negative 18h. And negative 2 times negative 3, that's positive 6. Now I'm going to bring these out, what's in my little box here, and write it down. Again, decreasing order of degree. H squareds come first. So I'm going to have the negative 12h squared first. And then, the reason I like to write it like this is my like terms end up on diagonals. I'll show you that more in the next page. 4h minus 18h, you can either write that out, negative 18h plus 4h, if you see it. And just put the answer minus 14h right in there, and then I have plus 6. There's my answer. Let's see if I got that around here somewhere. Negative 12h minus 14h plus 6. I wrote it neater over here. My 1's not really good there, but it works right there. So again, these other ones are in here. So like for this one, I'm going to think of this as the 4j on top, the minus 3 on the bottom. Get it in that order. And, maybe I'll write j a little differently. And then you can put the 3j and positive 4 there. You don't have to put the plus sign in there. That can come later. You know it's positive. FOIL method. Okay, the last one's asking for the FOIL method, which is mentioned on the first page. First, outside, inner, and last terms. First, outside, inner, and last. So, okay, this is like my 4th or 5th time recording these. FOIL method. That's what my directions say. FOIL method. First, outer, inner, last. This is in the notes on the first page. First term, z times z. That's going to be z squared. Outside terms, that's the z and the 2, the furthest outside. That's plus 2z. Inside terms, or inner terms, 3 times z, that's 3z. Notice, I always like to write my like terms right above and below each other. That's a habit I have. That's the way I was taught. And my last terms, 3 times 2, that's 6. Could have put a plus there, you didn't have to. Add them up, z squared plus 5z plus 6. I see the answer there, it checks out. Okay, number 2, or 18, first terms, negative q times q, negative q squared. Outside terms, negative q times 1, that's minus 1q or minus q. Inner terms, I get another negative q. I'm going to write it like they show it in the book here, side by side. And the last terms, negative 1, that's minus 1. I got a couple of like terms there. Negative q squared, that's minus 2q, minus 1. There's my answer. That one checked out. I should put a check mark next to that. That checked out. We're looking good so far. We're going to run a little over 10 minutes here. I'll try to be quick. There's an example, page 4, 368 on this, showing one of the methods from the book. I'm going to show you what I use. This is similar to the one they use in the book, but instead of writing it, I'm going to use the little lines. Multiply each term in the first with each term in the second. X times x is x squared, that's x cubed. X times x is x squared, or 1x squared. X times negative 1, that's minus x. So I multiply that first term, the x, with each term in the second parentheses. Now I'm going to do the same with the negative 2. Negative 2 times x squared minus 2x squared. Notice I like to line up my like terms. Negative 2 times x, that's minus 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1, that's plus 2. I made a mistake in one of the earlier videos. I wrote minus 2 there. And you would have seen me correcting a mistake. That's why that purple pen was out. Now I'm going to simplify this. I got x cubed. X squared minus 2x squared, that's a negative x squared, or negative 1x squared. Minus x minus 2x, that's 3 negative x's plus 2. There's that answer right there. That one's looking pretty good. Now, I'm going to show you the box method. I'm going to change it just a little bit from what I did before. This is one of the reasons I had to redo the video, since I got down here and I hadn't paused it enough before. And we're going to do it like this. 3n squared, 2n minus 5. You can put the lines there if you want them. I don't usually use those. 2n and 1. And again, notice decreasing order of degree. N squared, n, negative 5. Decreasing going this way, decreasing going this way. 2n plus 1. You'll see at the end why I do it like this. Multiply 2n times 3n, that's 6n cubed. 2n times 2n, that's going to be 4n squared. 2n times negative 5, that's going to be negative 10n. Where's my negative go? 1 times 3n squared, that's 3n squared. 1 times 2n, that's 2n. 1 times negative 5, that's minus 5. Now what I like here is all my like terms end up in diagonals. Even if you get bigger and bigger versions of this. And this helps keep it organized in your head a little bit better. You don't have to write out each step again. And I'm just going to total these up. I'm going to use a little different colored pen here just so you can see what I'm getting. So I'm going to get 3n cubed. This is giving me 7n squared. That's negative 8n. That's minus 5. And then I could have written it straight into this. 3n cubed plus 7n squared. Why plus? Because it was positive. Minus 8n minus 8n minus 5. And I caught a mistake here. Oh, you guys get to see me make a mistake. Hopefully you were yelling when I did that. Right there, that should have been a 6. So this shouldn't be a 3. I should have a 6 there. Now I've got my answer up there, plus 7n minus 8n minus 5. Hey, I'm glad I made a mistake and you got to see how I deal with it. So, no big deal. That's it for this one, kids. We are all done. Have a good day.